discuss in detail. First, there is a drastic decline in output. In all sectors of production, there is a drastic decline of production is observed in the Great Depression. Next one, a severe unemployment. There is a severe unemployment identified at the time of Great Depression. And also acute deflation. That means the prices fall down very drastically at this time. Of course, it started in USA, but it spread all over the world. Now we discuss the cynical effect of Great Depression. First, it started as the crash down of stock markets in USA due to decline of demand. Why? What is the relation between them? First, when the stock market crashed down, all the investors stopped their investing. So many factories which are to be established, they won't be established. Next one, the persons who have money, they want to save themselves and they have to keep the money with them. So they want to cut down their expenses, hence the demand declined in USA. Automatically, if the demand decreases in market, if anyone not buying the products, what will happen? The prices of the products will fall down. It happened there. Next, what will happen? Many factories may be in closure. That means they stop their production because they won't sustain their factories to losses. So, in order to preserve themselves, they have stopped their production. Next, what happened? If they stop production, there will be a severe employment. There will be a severe unemployment. That means many lost their jobs. So, what will happen if they lost the jobs? They lost their purchasing power because they lost their jobs and to their expenditure there is no money with them, so they have lost their purchasing power. It leads to again in decline of demand. So the decline of demand starts from the decline of demand, it ends to with the decline of demand. It is like this. It is a cynical effect caused for the Great Depression. The effect of Great Depression on USA. You see two pictures in it. They are the resembles the condition of Great Depression. One is a woman who is sitting very sad with the children, losing her job. And again, a Black Tuesday on which October 29, 1929, the crash down of stock market happened in USA. The impression, that means the effect of Great Depression on USA is 25% of Americans were unemployed. Next, factories were closed down and trade declined. No trade, there is no money. Every investor has not invested in and cut down his expenses. Then there is no trade there. Next, a collapse of the prices for agricultural products also. That means 60% of the prices were crashed down for agricultural products. So what will happen? Many farmers, that means millions of farmers were pauperized and they had stopped their cultivation and left their lands barren. This was the longest and most severe economic decline faced by the modern economy till today. Till today, it happened only once in the history, so we call it as the Great Depression. What are the devastating social consequences of Great Depression? It is very severe. That is, many of them were poor and the poverty, desolation, many lands were desolated and many of them were homeless, many of them were pauperized, so they left their homes, even they have become homeless. There are so many arguments on the Great Depression. What are the causes, what are the effects, and who caused for the Great Depression. Here we can see two versions of the economists. On the left side we have Marxist economics, and the right side Mr. J.M. Keynes' theory on Great Depression. In Marxist, as Marxist economics says that it is the essential nature of capitalism. They are against capitalism, so they criticized capitalism as it is the essential nature of capitalism. They give a solution to lead all countries to socialism. It is a remedy they have suggested. So Marxist economics Marxist economics were made that they criticized the capitalism for Great Depression. But J.M. Keynes has given some suggestions to get out of the Great Depression, that the state has to maintain a crucial role at these times, and it has to intervene in economy, and when the demand decreases it has to invest funds and generate employment in the state. So in order to revive the economy, the state must play a crucial role in the economy. It is the suggestion by J.M. Keynes. It has his suggestions followed by USA and get out of the Great Depression in the meanwhile. He is Mr. J.M. Keynes, John Maynard Keynes. Next we are going to what are the actions taken by capitalistic governments to face Great Depression. There are many Western capitalistic countries are there. They have just made a deaf ear to the Great Depression. They are very reluctant to intervene in their economies. Next, we are going to the New Deal policy, which was implemented by Roosevelt, the US president. It is also called as 3 R's. What are the 3 R's we are going to discuss? He is Mr. Roosevelt, F.D. Roosevelt, the US president. He promised to relieve, reform, recovery. These are called the 3 R's. He introduced this policy. He relieved, that means Mr. Roosevelt has promised to relieve for the victims of the depression, and he has taken many reforms in the financial institutions, and he has taken many steps to ensure economic recovery in USA. In USA, what was done under New Deal? He has proposed the New Deal and implemented it. How he has implemented to get rid of Great Depression? The first one is he undertook large public works. He spent the government money, the state's money to undertake the large public works. Next, the state expenditure on armies and armaments. He has established many armament factories in order to generate employment and also armament production. Next, at that same time, there is a big boost for the factories because the Second World War outbroke at the time, so there is a high demand for armaments at that time. So they have to export the armaments to the West Eastern countries, for that means the European countries, and they have to make money with the armaments. So it make a big boost for the factory production. Of course, with the factory production increases, what happens? The persons who work in the factory will get the wages or salaries. So automatically the demand for farm produce, automatically the agriculturists got profits also. Hence, in this way, with the New Deal policy, they get rid from the Great Depression. Next one is, what were the welfare measures in USA by Roosevelt? Roosevelt has taken many welfare measures for their citizens in USA. What are they? We will see. First one, he has introduced a social security system in its citizens. He has given a social security for all the citizens. That means here in this, you can see here is a pensioner. In this photograph, you can see an American pensioner. After his retirement, he has a secured life because he has a retirement pension after his retirement. So universal pension system was introduced by Roosevelt as a welfare measure. Next one, unemployment insurance also introduced. Welfare benefits for the handicapped, those who are disabled, they also get the welfare measures and benefits. Next, here in the photograph you can see a child with mother losing his father. So those single mothers with children, they have to get the assistance from the government till the children get 18 years. So this is also a great welfare measure started by FD Roosevelt in USA. Here you can see a widow of old age. She also get a pension, widow pension. It is also a welfare measure started in USA. Of course, here now a debate on Andhra Pradesh also. There is a lot of debates have been made on the welfare measures, as Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy, the CM of Andhra Pradesh, has introduced many welfare measures, and half part of the budget may be allocated to welfare measures. There's a big debate is going on, even though at the time of World War II, USA has introduced these kind of welfare measures there. We have to remind them also. Okay. Also, this kind of welfare measures are also introduced in Great Britain also. They have similar methods which introduced by USA. The Britain also introduced these kind of which are shown on the display. They are also the measures taken by Britain at the time of Great Depression. Now we shall discuss about the welfare state. What is a welfare state? Why the state has to take care of the welfare measures of the people? Yes, it is a responsibility of the state to get basic minimum dignified life to all its citizens. It is the responsibility of the state. It has to take more elementary needs. Every person, every citizen must be fulfilled: food, housing, health, child care, and old age pensions. That means that old age care. All the citizens of all ages must need an assistance from the government of the state to fulfill their life needs. So it is the responsibility of a welfare state. Next one, it is the responsibility to provide employment also for all the citizens. It is the state's responsibility. Next one is, in order to attain all these, it has to preserve the economy. So when the ups and downs happened in their market, in the economy, it has to intervene to settle down. So welfare measures, not only in Andhra Pradesh, they are implemented all over the world here before. Now we are going to measure and discuss about the economy of Germany in the crisis, because Germany has lost in World War I in the hands of allies, and it is in a crisis. That means in an economic crisis that is there in Germany. First, it has a burden of paying war damages, as the Versailles Treaty made a huge amounts as war damages on Germany. So it has to pay to allies the war damages. Along with them, to face this damage, Germany had made a mistake. Of course, it is not a mistake, but there is no chance to Germany to get out of this crisis. So it has printed a large scale of currency. And what will happen if you print more currency in our state? What will happen? Please see this. It happens inflation. What is inflation? Do you know what is inflation? You can see here a photograph has been given. See, on the right side, there is a loaf of bread. Here, he is taking money on a cart. That means to buy a loaf of bread, he has to give a cart of money. So, what you have observed here, the price, the value of the money was decreased, the price of the bread has been gone high. So, in other words, we can say the fall in purchasing value of the money and the general increase of prices is known as inflation. Okay, to bail out from the economic crisis, the USA has given a friendly hand to Germany. That means USA helped Germany to get out of the crisis. How? Yes, it gave loans. First of all, USA gave loans to Germany to get out of it. Next one, it rescheduled all the payments which are laid down on the Versailles Treaty as war damages. Next, it helped to stabilize German economy in 1928. With the help of USA, Germany economy has stabilized till 1928. But in 1929, what happened to America? There will be a great depression in USA also. So USA is unable to assist Germany at the time. So what happened? The Germany's economy is worst hit by the Great Depression. Next, the Great Economy means the German economy in Great Depression. What will happen in the also it has suffering from the crisis in Germany. What will happen if the Great Depression hits it also? Here happened the situations in Germany are like this. One, the industrial production was reduced to 40%. As in USA, the same situation happened here. Industrial production was reduced by 40%. And also workers, all the workers, many of them, many factories were closed down. Hence the workers lost their jobs. And even though they are ready to work on the reduced wages, there are no jobs for them. 6 millions were unemployed and they have hanged their boards on their necks. They are willing to work at any cost, at any wages, at any rate of price. They are willing to work, but there is no job in Germany. So they led to criminal activities also, which resulted social unrest in Germany. And also people are in despair. They won't come out of this Great Depression. So all the people are in despair in Germany. And many of the people were fear of pauperization. They may lose their jobs, they may lose their assets, they may lose their properties, and there is a fear of pauperization in Germany. Next, what are the political conditions there in Germany in Great Depression? We will see. First of all, here you see the Reichstag, the legislature of Germany. There is a political instability. There is no stable government in Germany at the time of Great Depression. What is that? The collapse of government. Every time there is no stability, one government forms and collapses at the same time in very few months. So no government has taken any action to resolve the Great Depression effects on Germany. Well, now we will discuss about Nazism. At this crucial time, at this economic crisis, Nazism showed a hope for the Germany. How? We can discuss. Yes, the rise of Nazism in Germany. In 1928, with 2.6% of votes in Reichstag, that is the legislature of Germany, it has entered the Reichstag, that means in the legislature. In the meanwhile, after 1932, it became the largest party with 37% of votes. So you can see here the salute of Hitler. They are the persons who are saluting to Hitler. Hitler came to Germany as a hope to recover from the great crisis. Okay, now we will discuss about Hitler and his striking features. First of all, he is a powerful speaker. He is a mesmerized person. That means he can mesmerize anything and turn the people on his side by his words. He moved the people with his words. He has a great talent. He has a great voice and he has a great words with him. So he knows well how to mesmerize the German people. He promised to bring a strong nation. Germany is a strong nation and in the olden days, but he has to retake those days by building a strong nation for Germans. He also promised he has to take revenge which was happened as injustice in Versailles Treaty. In World War I, Germany has been treated very damagingly, so he has to take revenge as on the injustice happened in Versailles Treaty. Next, he has to restore the dignity of German people. He has promised this also to all the Germans. I will restore the dignity of the German people. Next, he promised employment and secured future for German people. Hence, with these promises, all the German people were mesmerized in these crisis situations. He also promised he would weed out the foreign conspiracies against Germany. Those who planned for the decline of the Germany, he will see their end. That promise has been given by the Adolf Hitler in Germany. Hitler's new style of politics, spectacle power. That means his voice, his showcase is so special. It has a new style of politics. What was it? He has a mass mobilization. He has mobilized the people to the huge meetings. You can see he has conducted massive rallies and massive demonstrations. That means you see here with the swastika mark, they have rallied. So many rallies were conducted at his time to attract people, to get the people's attention towards him. And also he has demonstrated the support. He had to show the support of people to the outward world. So the demonstrations were laid down. Next, he instilled the sense of unity among the people. He wanted the German people to get united. So he has to improve the unity among the people. So he conducted such kind of massive rallies and demonstrations. Always you have seen earlier the red banners with swastika, which was the emblem of Nazi party. Yes, here you see the Hitler is saluting in Nazi style. After speeches, all the people will applaud with claps. It is also expect to show his power to the outward world. It is the new style of politics, the spectacle power. What are the political views of Hitler? First one, he has a faith on the supremacy of the Aryan Germans. He believed that Aryans are born to rule, not to be ruled. So, in this way, he has his political view. So, in order to achieve his political view, he has done many offenses, many murders, many human casualties. With his own hand, that means with his rule, he has surpassed many civilians. How it is, we will see later. He targeted in order to prove his supremacy of Aryan Germans, he targeted the minorities in the Germany, the minority communities. See how he has targeted them. He hated capitalism as well as the communism. He targeted the Jewish conspiracies. So in the Hitler's political views, he is very keen on to prove his supremacy and his attitude of Aryan Germans. So he has targeted the minor communities. When Hitler came into power, he takes some decisions. What were they? Now we discuss. Undemocratic and autocratic rule. He implemented undemocratic. We know democracy is by the people, of the people, and for the people. But there is no democracy in Germany. He is an autocratic, like a king. He ruled the Germany. Here you see the Reichstag. He dismantled all the democratic institutions. That means he has paid a deaf ear to Reichstag. He has not listened any of suggestions by Reichstag. Next one, arbitrary arrest of political opponents. If anyone opposed his rule, his decisions, they will be punished like this. So he has arrest and he has to shoot them out, and In this way, he has ruled in an autocratic way in Germany. You see, if any opponent, they will be sent to the concentration camps and they won't see the sun again. While he is in power, an enabling act was enacted on 24th March 1933. With the enabling act, what happened? Established a dictatorship in Germany. That means he has no limits to his power. He established dictator. He acts as a dictator and he implemented the dictatorship type of government in Germany. Next, he silenced the parliament. He has paid a deaf ear. He never spares the parliament and its decisions. He ruled by decrees. His word is a law in Germany. So he ruled by decrees all the time. He banned all the political parties and trade unions. There is no other political party except Nazi. So, and also there is no trade union. Trade union means the association of laborers or workers. So he is against communism. So he banned trade unions also. He has no faith on democracy. So he banned the political parties also. So he has a complete control. He got a complete control on Germany, even in economic terms or on media. He has a tight grip, and on army and in the judiciary also he has given a total grip and a complete control in Germany. Okay, in order to implement all these iron rules, he has to take the support of some surveillance and security forces. So he has made so many precautions. He has taken so many precautions to rule Germany. That means apart from regular police in green uniform, as you see in green uniform, there are police. The police are there in the regular uniform. They are the regular police in Germany. But in order to make his laws executed, he makes so many other forces also. We see them. One, SA. These kind of troops are called stormtroopers. Next one, Gestapo. It is a secret state police. And next, there SA protection squads. SD, security service and criminal police. These kind of forces were made by Hitler to rule and to sustain in Germany. So they have been given, all the forces have been given extra constitutional powers. So they can arrest or send anyone to any place. That means to the concentration camps. So they have been given an unlimited power. Okay, the first, he has set himself as the dictator of Germany. Next, the main challenge for Hitler is the economic recovery of Germany. He has taken some steps for the economic recovery. What were they? He is Romus Schaft. He is a great economist who has followed the Keynesian theory to lessen the effects of Great Depression. And also, Germany is in the crisis, economic crisis, so he has suggested something, that means some remedies for that. What were they? We will see. He has implemented some major precautions and also some major suggestions to recover the economy. What were they? He aimed full production and employment. That means the state has to establish the factories, they must be run in full production. They must give full employment for the German people. And next, the state fund work creation program. That means state has to fund some employment generation programs also. Next, he has invented the German superhighways. He has laid down the German superhighways, and the people's car, which is known as Volkswagen, was introduced by Romus Schaft. Next, as a remedy and as to improve the employment, he invested armaments industry. That means to make the weapons, he has started many industries which produce armaments. So in this way, he has made some suggestions and some activities to get out of the crisis. How are the living conditions of Germans at those times? The living conditions of a section of Germans are good, because those who have faith, who have a strong belief on Hitler, they will have a good conditions of their lives. But those who deny his racistic regime will be punished like this. See what happened. Those who condemned the racist regime, they were treated as subhuman conditions. In subhuman conditions, they were treated and hanged publicly in Germany. And next, to create further sustained employment, they have already started armaments factories in full strength, but there is a full of arms and weapons in the factories. There is no use for the weapons. When it will be making use, when they were used, how to use them? They have to wage the war against their neighbors. Then only the demand for armaments increase and the employment will automatically generate. So Mr. Hitler started go on wars with neighbors. Yes, what happened in World War II with Hitler? We can see he has a aggressive foreign policy. He has not any mitigation, any bilateral relations, any peaceful relations to any country. He has an aggressive foreign policy. Next one, he has to wipe out the principles laid down in the Versailles Treaty. He want to come out of the Versailles Treaty. Next one, he invaded on Poland for Polish corridor. An unhuman program was unfolded by Adolf Hitler. To build a racial supremacy of Germans, he targeted the minorities. He has killed cruelly many of the people. Mass extermination of minorities happened in Germany. He has waged a genocidal war in the shadow of World War I. How cruel he is, how he made them, how the sufferers feel. With these photographs, we can imagine. Mass murder of selected groups. He has decided to wipe out all the opponents and also all the persons who are against him. Many innocent civilians were murdered. Nuremberg trials of Nazis generals. The death sentence to 11 leading Nazis were held and lifetime imprisonment to the remaining happened, and the far short of the brutality and extent of their crimes. Here you can see all the culprits who were brutally gave a death sentence to the many innocent people were tried in the Nuremberg court. So in that court, death sentence have been given to leading 11 Nazi. The 11 Nazi members were given death sentence. So many others were given the life imprisonment. But of course, for their crimes, it is very little. For the crimes they have made, it is very little. The punishment is very little for them. The world after World War II. How would be the world after World War II? What are the changes came in the world? First one, as a remedy for the wars to lay peace in the world, UNO, United Nations Organization was formed. Next, it is an end for monarchic empires. Many monarchic empires lost their power. In England, there is a parliamentary system, and also in Japan also they made a parliamentary system instead of monarchic style. Next one, and to a large colonial empire. The colonies which were made by the Europeans were liberalized. That means they got liberty, that means they got freedom from the colonial empire. Because many European countries, Germany, Italy, England, and so on, many countries colonized many African and Asian countries in all over the world. And next, by 1950, many countries liberated, like India in 1947, China in 1949, Indonesia, Vietnam, Egypt, and Nigeria. They become liberated, they got the independence, they have the self-rule in their countries. Next, Great Britain became the second power. The empire which has risen in the Middle Ages to the modern age, the Great Britain has lost its place. It is the supreme till now, but it has gone to the second place. The new superpowers were happened to be the USA and USSR after World War II. They emerged as the superpowers. The USA and USSR, with their military, with their economy, they have proved themselves, so they become the new superpowers. Next, the Germany, however, it has many losses. Previously, it has get down, and that means it has recovered from its economic crisis gradually and become a good power in Europe also. Next, many socialistic camps, that means so many were inspired by socialism, and they have seen how USSR get rid of the economic crisis, that means Great Depression. So many countries, not only in Asia but also in America and Africa, they turn on the leftistic side. That means they want to be a community, they want to implement communist governments in their states. For example, in China in 1949, a communist regime has been started, and many East European countries also got it. So thank you everyone. I am concluding my lesson with this. Thank you one and all. Stay home, stay safe, save your lives. Thank you one and all. Be Indian, buy Indian. Jai Hind.